You're listening to Cool FM. Cool FM is a TVH Group of Networks radio station. Tondo's greatest hits are here. You are listening to Cool FM. Live from Cool Studios. This is koolNews Primetime.
Magandang gabi Pilipinas. Welcome to koolNews Primetime. I'm Royal Orange, and on the news tonight, the Philippine Coast Guard reported Sunday that another vessel sank in Bataan waters, this time off of Mariveles. Three PCG ships confirmed the presence of the sunken vessel at 5 p.m. on Saturday. Based on its initial underwater assessment earlier Sunday, the Coast Guard identified the vessel as the MTKRG San Bradley. The PCG said diving operations were being carried out to determine the condition of the sunken vessel. Meanwhile, Don Aquino reported on 24 Horas weekend that an oil sheen was seen at the location of the sinking, as the PCG placed an oil spill boom at the area. According to PCG spokesperson Rear Arman Balido, quote, apparently this vessel did not clear from the Philippine Coast Guard, from the Bataan Coast Guard Station, so hindi pa namin alam kung saan ang details nito, kung ano pang details meron siya. But we will give you updates as soon as information is available. This comes as the PCG postponed on Sunday the removal of fuel from a tanker that sank in Manila Bay, with fears of an environmental catastrophe growing as leaking oil reached the shore for the first time. The siphoning of the 1.4 million liters of industrial fuel oil from the vessel's hold was pushed back to Tuesday at the earliest, so divers could seal 9 leaking valves first. Philippine Coast Guard spokesperson Rear Admiral Armando Balilo told reporters. The tanker sank in bad weather off Manila early Thursday, killing one crew member and leaving the Philippines facing the possibility of its worst oil spill ever. Balido later told AFP the Coast Guard had found small patches of oil on the coast of the municipality of Bulacan, on the bay's north shore near Manila. The contaminated shoreline was on the edge of a reclamation project for a future international airport, he said. Balido said the Coast Guard was also investigating a report by the environmental group Greenpeace that a thick layer of oil was coating the sea Sunday about 4 kilometers off of the coast of Agonoy municipality near Bulacan. The Coast Guard has warned that it would be an environmental catastrophe if the entire cargo were to leak. It has also called for the suspension of fishing in Manila Bay to prevent people from, quote, eating contaminated fish. The Philippines has struggled to contain serious oil spill in the past. It took months to clean up after a tanker carrying 800,000 liters of industrial fuel oil sank off the central island of Mindoro last year, contaminating its waters and beaches and devastating the fishing and tourism industries. Another tanker sank off the central island of Guimaras in 2006, spilling tens and thousands of gallons of oil that destroyed a marine reserve, ruined local fishing grounds, and covered stretches of coastline in black sludge. The Coast Guard and a private salvage operator are also working to offload an unspecified amount of diesel from another tanker that sank at the mouth of Manila Bay, a Coast Guard statement said. Meanwhile, following the onslaught of Super Typhoon Karina and the southwest monsoon, the Department of Education said it will put off rather the opening of classes for school year 2024 to 2025 on Monday, July 29, in 1,063 public schools nationwide. This number was a slight increase from the 1,002 schools reported on Saturday that will delay their school openings for the cleanup and rehabilitation activities. Based on the DepEd's latest data, most schools that will not be opening on Monday come from Central Luzon at 457. Next to it was the Ilocos region, which had 310 schools, National Capital Region with 225, and Calabarzon with 67. Four schools in Soxargen, meanwhile, opted to postpone their class opening. The DepEd said its central office has already notified its regional directors of the postponement through their respective school division superintendents. President Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos Jr. said on Friday that the July 29 opening of classes must proceed as much as possible, save for areas heavily damaged by Karina and the southwest monsoon. While the Teachers Dignity Coalition appealed to mayors in Metro Manila and nearby provinces to reconsider the school opening date, allowing parents, students, and teachers more time to prepare for the school year. The appeal followed the Department of Education's announcement that most schools in the regions and provinces affected by typhoons, monsoon rains, and flooding, including Metro Manila, will still open as scheduled. The group postponed a 1 week delay to give families more time to address their problems and allow the DepEd to thoroughly prepare. On the weather now, the southwest monsoon and the throw or the extension of a low pressure area will bring heavy rains over several parts of the country, according to Pag-asa's Sunday afternoon forecast. Metro Manila and the west of Luzon would see cloudy skies with scattered rains and thunderstorms due to habagat. Meanwhile, the LPA trough may cause cloudy skies with scattered rains and thunderstorms over the Bicol region, Aurora, Quezon, Northern Samar, and Eastern Samar. The public was warned against possible flash floods and landslides due to moderate to heavy rainfall. State meteorologists also said localized thunderstorms may bring partly cloudy to cloudy skies with isolated rain showers or thunderstorms over the rest of the country. Possible flash floods and landslides due to severe thunderstorms may occur in the affected areas, Pag-asa said. The State Weather Bureau also said the country may experience light to moderate winds. Pag-asa weather specialist Ana Clauren Jorda said there is a low chance the LPA may develop into a tropical depression. However, she added that Pag-asa does not rule out that the LPA may develop into a storm within 24 to 48 hours. Jordan also said coastal waters would be slight to moderate throughout the country. And tomorrow, the sunrise in Metro Manila will be at 5:39 a.m. on Monday. Over to the Olympics over at Paris. Filipino gymnast Carlos Yulo will have a number of chances to win an Olympic medal after officially making the final of the three events of the men's artistic gymnastics in the 2024 Paris Olympics. Following the conclusion of all three subdivisions early morning, Manila time, Yudo made the all-round final with a total score of 83.631, good for ninth place. Meanwhile, Delgado enters rowing quarterfinals in Paris Olympics. Joni Delgado made the most of her second chance in the women's singles sculls repechage round, making the quarterfinals of the competition on Sunday afternoon. While Filipina Spencer Sam Katantan fought back from an apparent knee injury and an early visit against Brazil's Mariana Pistoia to barge into the round of 32 of women's foil on Sunday afternoon Manila time. And Katantan falls in round of 32 to end Paris Olympics. And she put up a fight, but came up short against veteran Ariana Erigo 15 to 12 in the women's foil individual table of 32 Sunday afternoon Manila time. And Phil Ivorian fencer also out of contention in Olympics. Filipina Ivorian fencer Maxine Esteban bowed out of her debut Olympic stint after falling against Frances Pauline Ranvier 15 to 7 in the women's foil individual table of 32 Sunday evening Manila time. Laban Pilipinas. And up next, DPWH says overpopulation, poor urban planning development, blamed for NCR floods. This report when we return on Cool News Primetime. Stay with us.
Sing along to the music. Cool FM.
Cool FM time is 9:17 p.m. Welcome back. The Department of Public Works and Highways on Saturday said Metro Manila has already exceeded its carrying capacity, contributing to the recent severe flooding during the onslaught of southwest monsoon, known locally as Habagat and Super Typhoon Karina. DPWH Undersecretary Cathy Cabral said the government has built infrastructures to mitigate flooding, but overpopulation is clogging waterways. Cabral told reporters, quote, malaki na po yung population compared sa carrying capacity ng NCR. Wala na tayong lugar at ang tubig po talagang maghahanap ng dadaluyan yan. Told reporters in a media briefing in Quezon City. Metro Manila has 14.9 million people that's the latest data from the Philippine Statistics Authority. The DPWH officials said that as of 2024, the government has implemented over 600 flood control projects aimed at mitigating such disasters. Cabral said the DPWH is actively assessing in the relocation of informal settlers to alleviate congestion in the National Capital Region. This is part of a broader strategy to improve urban planning and reduce the risk of flooding in the region. She said, quote, marami pong portion ng Metro Manila na kung hindi po namin nagawa yung mga intervention namin, baka po mas malala pa ang pagbaha, unquote. The Department of Environment and Natural Resources Assistant Secretary, Nora Limpuy, also said urban development has left little room for water absorption in NCR, exacerbating the flooding issue. She said, quote, yung ating urban development hindi maayos. Nawawala na po tayo ng mga natural areas kung saan yung ating mga flood waters po ay maa-absorb, unquote. She added, quote, hindi tayo pwede basta-basta mag-a-attribute na lang lahat ng problema natin dahil sa climate change. Yung attribution pwede rin sa poverty, sa unplanned development, unquote. Meanwhile, the MMDA, or the Metro Manila Development Authority General Manager Procopio Lipana, attributed part of the flooding to improper waste disposal by the public. Lipana is pushing for the incineration of garbage as a potential solution, although he acknowledged the significant operational costs associated with this approach. A website of the Department of Energy was the latest target of cybercriminals, the agency said on Sunday. In a statement, the DOE said its government energy management program website was, quote, hacked and defaced on Saturday night. The department said it immediately took the system offline. The DOE is now working with the Philippine National Computer Emergency Response Team, as well as with its developer, to address the website's vulnerabilities. According to the DOE, quote, we assure you that the DOE is committed to keeping its systems secure and will continue to upgrade these systems. The website's full operation has yet to be restored. The United States and Japan issued scathing verbal attacks on China and Russia on Sunday, after high-level discussions aimed at enhancing already close defense collaboration between Tokyo and Washington in an increasingly unstable region. A joint statement after the 2+2 talks between U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken, Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin, and their Japanese counterparts said China's, quote, foreign policy seeks to reshape the international order for its own benefit at the expense of others. They, quote, reiterated their strong objections to the PRC's unlawful maritime claims, militarization of reclaimed features, and threatening and provocative activities in the South China Sea. China's, quote, destabilizing actions in this region include unsafe encounters at sea and in the air, efforts to disrupt other countries' offshore resources exploitation, as well as the dangerous use of Coast Guard and maritime militia vessels, quote, INSEM. They also expressed concern about China's quote ongoing and rapid expansion of its nuclear weapons arsenal, which continues without any transparency regarding its intent and which the PRC refuses to acknowledge, despite publicly available evidence. The statement highlighted with the concern Russia's growing and provocative strategic military cooperation with the PRC, including through joint operations and drills in the vicinity of Japan and the PRC support for Russia's defense industrial base. They also strongly condemned deepening Russia-North Korea cooperation, exemplified by Russia's procurement of ballistic missiles and other material from North Korea in direct violation of UNCR's or the UN Security Council resolutions for use against Ukraine. The statement, issued after Blinken's and Austin's talks with Japanese Foreign Minister Yoko Kamikawa and Defense Minister Minoru Kihara, also confirmed plans to establish in Japan a new joint force headquarters headed by a three-star U.S. commander for the 54 thousand military personnel stationed there. This will serve as a counterpart to Japan's planned Joint Operations Command for all of its armed forces, making the two militaries more nimble in the case of a crisis over Taiwan or the Korean Peninsula. U.S. forces in Japan currently report back to Indo-Pacific Command in Hawaii, around 6,500 kilometers away and 19 hours behind. And in showbiz, Beanie made, quote, her story as they become the first P-pop group to grace the KCON LA 2024, a three-day concert and festival in Los Angeles, California. KCON is considered the world's largest K-pop music festival, taking place estimated to bring together some 160,000 people to Southern California for the three-day festival featuring K-pop music artists intersped with an introduction to everything Korean. Beanie performed their latest single, Cherry on Top, at the M Countdown pre-show stage on Sunday, July 28, Philippine time. They will also appear at the Meet the Rising Stars Beanie panel the day after, allowing fans to know more about the group. Unfortunately, Beanie's leader, Joanna, was absent from the event due to, quote, unanticipated health issues, as announced by their management accounts. Clips of their performance were uploaded by streaming platforms and fans on social media. After their performance, the members of Beanie introduced themselves as an eight-member group from the Philippines while showing their love to Joanna. Quote, Aya said, quote, we are actually an eight-member group, but one of our members, our dear Joanna, is not here with us. She's still in the Philippines, but we miss her, unquote. Hours before their stage, the official X, formerly Twitter page of Beanie, shared photos of the members posing by the Crypto.com arena, the venue where their pre-show performance took place. And surprise, Oscar winner Robert Downey Jr. announced his return to the Marvel superhero films during a blockbuster Disney presentation at Comic-Con Saturday, as the company attempts to reinvigorate its all-time record-grossing movie franchise. Harrison Ford and Pedro Pascal were also officially unveiled among the batch of new stars joining the movie franchise, which has grossed an unprecedented $30 billion at the box office, but in recent years has suffered a number of high-profile flops. Marvel film president Kevin Feige announced new details about multiple upcoming superhero movies in front of a crowd of screaming devotees at the San Diego, California gathering on Saturday. But nobody drew a louder reaction than the returning Downey Jr. The actor, who launched the entire Marvel movie universe with 2008's Iron Man, will return as a totally different character, Doctor Doom, a prominent villain in the Marvel comic books, it was revealed. He appeared anonymously on stage among a group of hooded and masked figures before stepping forward and revealing his much rumored return. New mask, same task. But I tell you, I like playing complicated characters, quote unquote, said Downey Jr. to the delight of assembled Marvel obsessives. Downey Jr. won an Oscar this year for his role in Christopher Nolan's Oppenheimer and had seemingly retired from the Marvel films in 2019. The presentation was the hottest ticket of the 4-day pop culture extravaganza, with fans lining up for hours to get the coveted seat. Marvel fans have complained in recent years about overcomplicated plot lines and the departure of beloved characters, including Downey Jr.'s Iron Man, with some calling for a wholesale reboot of the movies. The franchise was also rocketed by domestic violence revelations about Jonathan Majors, but set to become the major new supervillain across multiple films. Joe and Anthony Russo, the brothers who previously oversaw the 2019's Avengers Endgame, which briefly became the highest grossing film of all time at more than $2.79 billion, will also return. They will direct Avengers Doomsday in May 2026 and Avengers Secret Wars in May 2027. And that's it for tonight here on koolNews Primetime. As always, thank you so much for your continued trust and support. For more news and information, we're right here on Cool FM. And you can send us an email to us at tvh.philippines.news@gmail.com. Cool News will return at tomorrow morning with Cool News Early Edition with Aspview. From the headquarters of Cool FM, I'm Royal Orange. You've been listening to Cool FM, the station that cares for you. Maraming salamat po at magandang gabi.